Live from the Circuit of the Americas, also known as COTA. This is the, oh gosh, even I forgot the title of this. This is the hashtag Praise COTA Grand Prix presented by Project 2, also known as the Field Jetstream Media IndyCar Series. Race number 6. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Thanks everyone for tuning in here to the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. As per usual, I am the one-man crew here over on the commentary and graphics. I am, as per usual, Gary Weaver, and if anyone says otherwise and the voice is different, it is not me. But thanks either way for tuning in. We are here again at Circuit of the Americas for a 34-lap race. So basically about roughly an hour, I believe, at maximum. We are currently under qualifying for the time being for the following 6 minutes and 10 seconds. So stalling may happen. We may just stall just ever so slightly, but then again, more than likely not, because there really is no point to that. So 6 minutes remain here. And, well, this track is absolutely pretty much insanity. Just insanity in general. All is interesting. It's going to be, again, just quite interesting to see how this plays out. Hey, Nick Cohan is here. And, well, he's not exactly here. He's over in the chat. Hi, Nick. Hope you've been doing well on your, I think, 2-week break. I think this is your second week. I have no idea. I've not been paying attention, to be honest. But we will get the statistics up at least, or the ticker for qualifying, right? Actually, no, we're going to take all of this out, and we're going to have the results up. So this is how many people are currently qualified for the time being. We'll just stick with that for now. But as of now, only 6 drivers qualified. There are excuse me, still other drivers are qualifying as well. And I'm going over the car count for the time being, so just a quick second. So we have 21 drivers here for this week, so many drivers have decided to sit out this week. Out for the season. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, hopefully you're doing better, though, or getting better. I have no idea what happened, but yeah, hopefully everything is well. I'll definitely go with that. Right now, this is so far what we have in qualifying. Of course, it is not the unofficial finishing results. That is just based off of the preset text that I have put there on the graphic itself. So let's see if we can find somebody to ride along with here. We'll go with Matt Hollabaugh. The Will Roberts sound-alike. His voice is pretty much the exact same as Will Roberts, and it looks like he's currently on this qualifying time right now as well, so we'll figure out how he fares. A slight problem for this is the fact that this track is very sensitive to off-track, so you're going to have to be really careful during qualifying. 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. That little turn there, turn 11, that sharp, near 270 degrees, I believe. Near 180, I believe. Virtually a 180-degree turn. Is a little bit killer. We're going to be utilizing all of the onboard cameras that we have for this race because everybody is going to get very spread out throughout this. just riding along and just waiting for Hollabaugh to come across the start-finish line. It's just a little bit tense because, again, the off-tracks are very sensitive at this track. So right here, makes it. One more corner. And drivers got to be very careful on the exit as well. Across the start-finish line, the O2 comes across in a 5th place position. Not too bad. He's going to try and better himself there for that lap. Will Roberts has, however, been sitting in pit road. Chad Frankenfield going to finish up his lap by the looks of it, provided he didn't go off track. Oh, well, never mind. Commentator's curse 101 right there. We'll just forget that happened and switch over to Cade McKee, who is just now leaving pit road. Not sure if that's the best time, though. That's the best time to leave pit road. There is a little bit of extra time. Okay, yeah, he should be able to make it. The slowest lap time so far is a 1 minute 51 seconds. So now it's just gonna cut straight through to try and save time. That's not gonna work. Someone telling me he has enough time left. He's got enough time left, so I'm not sure why he'd cut the course, but it makes sense. He's on his outlap, so it will not count against him. I'm pretty sure he just wants to be sure that he'll make it to the end. His last lap time, which didn't count, I don't believe. Yeah, now he's doing the slowdown penalty, it seems. Or just slowing down for the corner, but either way. He has a minute left, and Frankenfield and Roberts have not qualified. Byron Daly is currently on his qualifying run. It looks like, oh, man. Daly is flying through. He may be finishing up this lap, actually. Across the start-finish line with under a minute to go, and across the line, we'll see. Was that his start? No, 4th place. So he is 100% done. Cade McKee must have spun out, I assume. Oh, we'll take a look. I'm not sure. I think he may have. Now he just decided to pull it off the track and just abandon that chance of a run. Well, we will find out. Brendan Minto having fun and just poking at himself, saying, "Go Minto, even though you suck on road courses." Well, I mean, in his, I'll say it like this: his lap time is 2 seconds off the driver in front of him. That's all I'm saying. All right, now but the fun portion with all 21 drivers here is: do we have a rolling start? Because if not, we're just going to go straight through the starting grid. Let's see. Pace car is yes. Okay, so we do have a rolling start. Oh, new pace car. Forgot about that. Well, as we set up the pace car camera for the 227th time, I'm going to black out the screen for the time being. But your starting grid is as follows for this race. If I can get the graphic to actually show up. Starting in first place is going to be the number 1 of Mitch Welker. So appropriately enough, the number 1 starts in position at number 1. They have the interior design in this thing. That is absolutely impressive. Second place going to be Zachary Buchanan. Third place is Andrew Wood. Fourth place, Byron Daly. Fifth place going to be Cohen Evans. Sixth place is going to be Matt Hollabaugh. Seventh place going to be James Pasquarella. Eighth place, Matthew Warner. Ninth place, Brendan Minto. Rounding out the top 10 is going to be Cade McKee. I'm just going to get the camera saved up here. As in 11th place, it will be, as we get the picture back, in 11th place it will be Andrew Hewson. 12th place, Chad Frankenfield. 13th place going to be Chris Seidenfaden. 14th is Michael P. Hurley. 15th going to be John McIone. 16th, John Wilco. Row of John, I see. Chris Matthews going to be starting 17th. 18th is John Martin. Man, that was close for Martin there. Evan Adams starts 19th. 20th, Will Roberts, appropriately in the number 20, rounding out the top running the 21 car field is Casey Duncan. And they actually, if we can get a, that's the wrong car, get an interior shot of the safety car, which they actually, this is impressive. This is absolutely impressive. The interior of this thing is designed. You don't see that every day. You never see, this is insane. This is absolutely impressive. So let's see if we can actually get a view out the, well, barely. You can barely get a view out the back there, but that's why an alternate camera was set up, which was this camera. That's a different driver. Apologies for that. This camera, there we go. This thing has an engine on it for a safety car, which is impressive in its own right. So Mitch Walker going to bring the field to the green flag after the new Porsche safety car rolls off the field. The only problem I have with that is the fact that it does not seem to have a spoiler on the back. I believe this could be the first iRacing pace car without a spoiler. I may be wrong. They started a lot farther back than I thought they would for the half pace lap. But other than that, we will be going green here in just a few moments. By the way, to Nick Cohan in the chat, the Praise Coda sponsorship has otherwise, and you can thank Mitch Walker for that, the leader here. So the fancy new pace car going to pull off the field, off the track. And Mitch Walker brings the field down to the green flag. And down and away they go. The green flag is out. We are underway at Circuit of the Americas. Oh, already spinning out on the inside. Not sure who that is. And contact. It is already pure mayhem here in turn one. It was pretty much a chain reaction from then on. So multiple drivers making contact way too early on. And already just multiple drivers going to... Well, I was right when I said we were going to spread out, but I never thought it was going to be like that. So Mitch Walker pulls away early on. Andrew Wood second. Third place is Zachary Buchanan. I believe that was Michael P. Hurley. We'll get some replays up here now that we have spread out for the most part. The driver that had originally spun out, the first driver to spin out, it was Cohen Evans in the number 17 machine here on this replay. Going down into turn one and just blocks up under braking. And then there's just a whole host of drivers that made contact. 3 drivers turned around, one of which was Matthew Warner. That's Andrew Hewson. And that is Brendan Minto. So about 5 drivers early on make contact. More than likely not what they wanted to have this early on. So we're going to be utilizing a lot of onboard shots. And, well, Byron Daly has snuck his way up to 3rd place as there goes Buchanan down to the inside. Of the left-hand side, rather. He's going to have a very good advantage here heading into turn one because of the draft down the front straightaway. The front straightaway, well, maybe not. Never mind. May actually be making a move. Daly gives him space on the inside, but that's not going to help out Buchanan for the time being for his 3rd place battle. Matt Hollibaugh in the 02 and the NASCAR-themed IndyCar, which is strange enough in its own right, going to be following suit in the 5th place position. And already brakes are locking or heating up, I should say. So down the S's they go. Your entire top 5 sort of all with each other, but at the same time, not so much. Andrew Wood has a... That's moreover Mitch Walker, who has a little bit of an advantage early on. Hang down into turn 11, as noticed by that huge pylon on the right-hand side. You may be seeing these pylons around the racetrack, by the way. They label what corners are around the racetrack. I did not notice those up until just before the race during practice. So that's pretty interesting, as Caden McKee in the 27 is on the left-hand side of Cohen Evans. Or sorry, that's Cohen Evans on the left-hand side of Caden McKee. So they're going to single file out early on. Byron Daly and Zachary Buchanan, Matt Hollabaugh, I believe, also went wide. So these two are going to be pretty close to each other in terms of on-track positioning. Now locking up the brakes a little bit, going very wide, Zachary Buchanan, but at the same time, Daly had to save the exit of his corner, so he's going to back off just a little bit for now, but he's going to try and hang on to the third place position. No, Buchanan around into the gravel, not into the wall, however, so he is fine for the time being, but he's going to fall back all the way was now to 8th in real time, as you see on the graphic there. Just as we were going to ride on board as Buchanan, he goes from 3rd place all the way down to 8th within, what, 2 corners? Not even 2 corners. Now it's just the turning. He overcorrected. He almost had it, but on the bright side, though, he did not hit the outside wall. So for the time being, he is safe, but unfortunately, he's stuck behind the 15 of Chad Frankenfield right now. He's going to have to deal with the number 15, and looks to be a little bit of wing damage there to the 15 as well. Down to the right-hand side. No dice for the time being. 32 laps to go this early on. And that angle of the S is actually by default. My goodness, Caden McKee had a huge moment there trying to save that car out of turn number 11. Buchanan trying to use the draft to his advantage. There are push-to-pass opportunities here, but he's not going to try and make the move. I believe, more than likely, 15 was going to try and make a move there on the 27 just in front. We're going to be, we're going to be using a lot of onboard cameras. We'll just stick with the 27 for now, or the 40, I should say. Down to the right-hand side. Oh, man, that was a little bit close. McKee locking up the brakes, the tires, rather. Buchanan following suit on the top side. He's going to try and get to the right-hand quarter panel of McKee, almost. There are even quarter panels here, riding along with Chad Frankenfield now, just to watch this battle in front of him. These drivers are 6th, 7th, and 8th on the racetrack now. Second closest battle is between Hollabaugh and Daly for 3rd. Oh, McKee goes around into the outside wall as well. You can't see from this camera angle, let alone that one as well, but he's going to spin it off turn number 4, or not even turn number 4, I believe it's turn 18. Locks up the brakes, possibly powers it off just, oh man, just a bit too much. Almost gets to the 40. Doesn't seem to hit the wall hard enough to warrant any visible or heavy damage. So he should be fine for now, but at the moment, Matt Hollabaugh trying to chase down Byron Daly, as there is a driver in pit road. That is Will Roberts. For some reason that number 20 is in his pit stall now, but there's, again, 4 drivers that have made contact earlier on. There are a few drivers that are fully out. That is Casey Duncan, John Martin, Chris Seidenfaden. I don't believe they've even started the race. James Pasquarella, I believe, has, but he is out of this race. So we may be going, we're actually going to head to a full commercial break with 25 laps to go. And by full commercial break, I mean in terms of not double wide. May switch in between, it just depends. But for the moment, it's going to be a full commercial break on lap number, well, not lap number 25, but 25 laps to go. But in the meantime, Mitch Walker is pulling away. Andrew Wood seems to have locked the brakes up just a little bit. See if we can get a left rear suspension. There we go. So you can see Matt Hollabaugh there in the background, trying to at least chase down, if not stick with, the 06 of Byron Daly for this 3rd place position. Looks like Seidenfaden, Martin, and Duncan have not started this race for sure, as these drivers make their way through the S's. Matt Hollabaugh follows through. Cohen Evans currently in 5th. So this is pretty much the closest battle on the track, I believe. More drivers in pit road. Matthew Warner in the 64, sorry, is in pit road. Same with Chris Matthews in the 92. Not sure why all these drivers are actually pitting early on, but they are. Must be a miscalculation in fuel. Not sure why, but Daly, Hollabaugh, and Evans, they are 3rd, 4th, and 5th. First place, still Mitch Welker. Second place, going to be Andrew Wood. So right along with Cohen Evans, because it looks like, and they'll try to attempt to pass on the right-hand side of Frankenfield. Maybe cut down. No, that's not going to work. I think what Frankenfield tried to do is stay on the inside to let him by, and he does let the 17 go around. I think it's a little bit of a miscalculation, at least, of the placement. I don't think Cohen Evans expected him to let up there, but nothing too major this early on so far. Zachary Buchanan, however, has gained a couple of positions. He's starting to get back up into the top 3. He started he started within the top 3. He started second. And remember, we did see him spin out a while back. He didn't hit anything in the final corners. He didn't hit the outside wall, but he did spin out, and it put him back from 3rd place to 8th at the time that the spin happened. So looking through the field, everyone is, again, just very spread out for the time being. Michael Hurley, as he goes through turn 11, currently sits in the 16th place position. The only driver 1 lap down is John Wilco, with heavy damage on the right front wing, or the left front of the wing, I should say. That could be why he went to pit road, but I don't think he'll be able to really fully repair that. Mitch Walker just about to come and pass the 56 of Michael P. Hurley here. So it could be 15 drivers on the lead lap here in a few moments, and it will be, as Hurley goes very wide, leaving a whole bunch of space for the 1 of Welker. Second place, still Andrew Wood hanging on. Byron Daly still 3rd. 4th, Cohen Evans. 5th, Matt Hollabaugh, but he may be going down to 6th as the 40 of Buchanan slowly closes the gap in between those two. You can hear how late, in a very positive sense, that Buchanan is letting off of the throttle. I could hear the wind, however, just down the front straightaway. That's right now. It's going to be a while. Buchanan was having a little bit of issues in practice. He liked how the setup handled, but under braking, oh my goodness. Yeah, well, there's perfect timing, unfortunately. Oh, wait, hold on. Somebody was spun around there. Not sure who that was. That is Michael P. Hurley off the racetrack after being put a lap down. Heavy left front wing damage. As apparently the video seemed to stop for some reason. Hopefully we are still live. Going to double check here before we continue on. Yes, we are. Okay. So I want to double check since the video had frozen up unexpectedly there. The replay video graphic. But we will be going back live to your replay here. See what happened to Michael P. Hurley, and man, that's a hard shot. Just pretty much the entire left side of the vehicle is not exactly gone, but it is pretty bent up here as he moves down the straightaway. Just coming to the end of the back straightaway. Oh, really locking up. His front tire isn't even on the ground. It's barely there. So he's having a little bit of trouble with that. Hopefully we'll be able to get back going soon, but unfortunately with that much damage, I don't think he will. So Andrew Wood crosses the start-finish line in second. We have 2 start-finish lines here at Circuit of the Americas. As, well, there is the main starting grid formation that is used in pretty much F1. or standing start races, but the actual start-finish line is just out of turn number 18, the final turn. Let's see if we can actually, again, let's see if we can find someone around there. Yeah, there's Andrew Hewson. And there's the start-finish line right, whoa, here. Let's see who that was. That was Caden McKee. He had spun around. I see a little bit of left front damage. I was about to say I don't see anything. But again, I think that's the second time he spun in this corner as well. Not sure what's up with the video graphic there for the replay. But the replay is up nonetheless. And we will see what happens. Overshoot. Too much throttle, seems. And barely keeps it off. Barely keeps it off the wall. So he may have had that damage a little bit before then. We're going to start the replay graphic up again here for a second. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. But hopefully I can actually get that fixed right now. There we go. So we are going to be back live here. Taking a look at Mitch Walker, and so far his very great run at a runaway lead for the time being. By how much? It's about 3.5 seconds. And you'll see the start-finish line possibly right here you'll see it. There's the start-finish line. That's the actual start-finish line that these drivers are being counted at. This one that Walker just passed is for the standing starts. So the gap continues to increase as Andrew Wood tries to hang on to second place. Byron Daly trying to hang on for third. Buchanan finally got around Matt Hollabaugh for 5th place. As Hollabaugh is now in 6th. So right now we have Andrew Wood, Mitch Walker in 1st. 2nd place, here's Andrew Wood. 3rd place, Byron Daly. 4th place going to be Cohen Evans. 5th place, Zachary Buchanan. 6th place, Matt Hollabaugh. And it could change for 4th place here. In just a few moments if Buchanan can get back around the 17 of Evans. See how this fares on corner entry. Oh, Evans decides to defend the inside lane. Well, that backfire for him, though. Will Evan... Oh, well, I was going to say, will Buchanan go for a crossover? He does not, so he'll settle for the draft down the back straightaway instead. As they drag race down the back straightaway, it's clearly going to be the 40 with the advantage here heading down into the left-hand turn. Evans looks like he's going to try and get to the inside. He does. Oh, no. Oh, no. Buchanan up on his roof. He is fully done for the day. Just an instant retire. Cohen Evans also involved. An instant retire for the 40 of Zachary Buchanan as we saw that happen. Just too much throttle from the number 40. And Cohen Evans is now unfortunately out with a, he's still on the racetrack, but he's going to be dealing with a missing right front wing. As far as Zachary Buchanan goes, well, he just had an instant retire in a sense after nailing it nose first into the left-hand wall. Too much throttle, it seems. Maybe a little bit of overcorrect, and then, oh, man. Yeah, at that point, you just Alt F forward. Alt F, if that's even a phrase. F Ford. But other than that, though, back live, Cohen Evans in pit road, going to repair his damage. Chad Frankenfield looks like he's going to be taking a regular pit stop, as he looks to be A-okay for the time being. As far as Cohen Evans, I don't believe he will be able to get a repair. I think Chad Frankenfield, yeah, he's going to be getting a repair as well, as he's been in pit stall for 23 seconds. Now he's down in the way. Same with Cohen Evans, who for some reason was counted back in pit lane a second time. After what looks to be, yeah, getting a new front wing. So Evans is back out. He's in 7th. For the time being, we'll be going into a full commercial break. We'll go to double wide here in just a few moments. But for now, this is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network bringing you the Praise Coda Grand Prix presented by Project 2. And, well, the person that came up with that title is the person who is in the lead, which is the number 1 of Mitch Walker. So we're going to go ahead and do a full commercial for the time being, but until then, we will be right back with Double Wide. So don't go anywhere. This is the Racing Line Broadcasting Network with the Fuel Jetstream Media IndyCar Series.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Back live at Circuit of the Americas here as Matt Hollabaugh had spun out, trying to do his best to chase down Byron Daly. He didn't lose any positions, but this was enough to lose just enough time to see that third place slip away for the time being. And right when I say that, well, he's in pit road at the moment in real time. So I believe someone else had actually went to pit road as well. I should say second place, slipping away. There goes Andrew Wood up to third place. Hollabaugh still in pit road. The only top two drivers that have not yet went to pit road are the top two drivers on the racetrack, which are Mitch Walker and Byron Daly. As I mentioned by Nick Cohan earlier, thanks Nick for the mention, as that was actually damaged. I wasn't sure earlier on whether or not it was damaged or if he was just refueling or something, but luckily we do have a air quote inside scoop. As Mitch Walker's led currently all 13 laps. Will Roberts, unfortunately, being put one lap down here, getting passed by Byron Daly, giving him all of the space in the world. And actually here at COTA for one race and one race only is actually this girl right here. That is Will Roberts' girlfriend. She is she's got a great view. She's got a TV screen directly behind her, a little bit of pit road as well. And speaking of pit road, actually, Brendan Minto is here on the pit road. So he's going to be taking his possibly scheduled pit stop, as he has not yet went to pit road today, aside from just now. Same with Evan Adams. He also has yet to head to pit road, as well as Daly and Welker. Those two are going to stay out for the time being. Welker dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. He's going to have to wait just a little bit, but right now he's got pretty much nowhere to go. Heading down into turn 11, as again noticed by that big giant pylon on the right hand side of your screen. Trying to get by the lap traffic of Andrew Houston, who is now one lap down. Up ahead of him is Caden McKee. So at this point, luckily from just laps alone and how far the field is spread out, it's going to be 7 drivers that are, actually no, 6 drivers, sorry, that are on the lead lap. Caden McKee has spun out a few times, had a little bit of bad luck. Enough to stay at least in the top 7, but Mitch Walker has other plans for that at the moment. The question is, when is Walker going to pit? Because the halfway point of this race is going to be lap number 17, and we are closing in on that as well here in just a few laps time. In fact, 2 laps from now, we're going to be on lap 17. Well, never mind. There goes Mitch Welker to pit road. So there's my question answered. Byron Daly, well, he head to pit road. This could be the next question. Pit limiter active for Mitch Walker. Byron Daly, will he head to pit road? It's actually going to be at 1 lap until halfway. So 17 laps to go actually will be the halfway point of this race. Daly locks up the left front entering the pit stall, or pit road entry. He'll make that stop just fine. Same with Mitch Walker. He didn't have to back up into his pit box. He is also relieved to be on pit road as well. We'll see how Byron Daly fares, as Walker is down and away in 9.5 seconds. We will see how Daly fares coming into his pit box. Pit stop begins. No need to back up. Mitch Walker's total pit lane time was 34.3 seconds. Daly has a almost 2-second faster pit stop. And Allen Pit Road almost 2 seconds faster than Mitch Walker was. So that could help out. We're going to have to find out how much that could help out, though. Andrew Wood almost directly behind Mitch Walker. Actually, not even close. More about 6.5 seconds behind, but Andrew Wood back up to second. Ironically, using the second gear for majority of the S's. Passing turn 10, as the pylon noted there, and there is turn 11. I'm actually going to ride on board here with Byron Daly. There's right-hand side off the track, turn 10, that orange pylon that just went off screen. Just ahead is the turn 11 pylon. I believe there's a... I'm not sure exactly if there's turn 12, but we will find out. Other than that, though, I'm just gonna... Actually, I'm gonna stick with Byron Daly here. Let's see if we can find Mitch Welker, actually. And yeah, he's about entire back straightaway ahead, essentially. How much is that? Well, it's about 17.5 seconds. And that's 7.5 seconds between Welker and Andrew Wood. So we're going to take a ride on board Mitch Welker and see how a lap at COTA is. Oh, that is not what Welker wanted to have. Oh, man, that is not what Welker wanted to have. Well, at the same time, oh, yeah, no, that gap just got completely destroyed. 7.5 seconds, and he lost 6 seconds from that spin. On top not to have a lap around COTA. Apologies for, like, the major silence, but that is the main reason is so you all could listen to the engine. So Welker may be getting caught off of his game here just a little bit, as Andrew Wood is now sort of within, well, not really within striking distance, but he is within distance. But how much is the main question, though? So hopefully as he goes through the S's with Andrew Wood actually closing the gap a little bit. Find out. Oh, maybe spoke too soon. My gosh. Well, everyone is starting to really push the fact here. And that just actually caused Andrew Wood to lose about a second on that time that he had. Byron Daly is about 11 seconds off of the leader, Mitch Welker. And about 8 seconds off, about 9 seconds off of the second place driver of Andrew Wood. All right, now we're just watching Daly go around the racetrack here. 17 laps to go, 17 complete in a sense. So we are pretty much halfway, or just past halfway actually, at the start-finish line. As it now changes to 16 laps to go. Cohen Evans trying to fend off, actually no, not trying to fend off anybody. That is actually John McKayon in the 7, position 12, 1 lap down. The driver for position behind Cohen Evans, however, is the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. There's the gap. I'll see if Frankenfield can get by the 7 of McKayon. I'm not quite sure about it at the time. Well, there's my question answer. Hard left-hand turn. Apologies for that. Apologies for the silence and no reaction, but smoked the left side tire just a little bit, it seems. So Chad Frankenfield could be closing in on a 5th place finish if he keeps up this momentum. Meanwhile, Matt Hollabaugh in the NASCAR-sponsored IndyCar, again, irony, he's going to be just driving around his, making his way around the track in 4th place. Byron Daly here, trying to chase down Andrew Wood for the time being. Here's the gap between both of these drivers, about 7.6 seconds. It's been pretty much that for about a lap now. And you can see the difference in their lap times on the right-hand side of their name. 1 minute 48.473 seconds for Andrew Wood the last time around. Byron Daly was about, looks to be 1.1 seconds quicker, or at least a minute. And I'm reading this wrong, actually. Well, I'm really reading this wrong. Yeah, about a second quicker. I'll just go with that. 1.2 seconds quicker. I'll see what that comes to this time around. At the start-finish line, Andrew Wood has a 1 minute 48.433. Byron Daly comes across the start-finish line with, I should go back to this, 1 minute 47.343. So, again, about a second quicker is Byron Daly. But Andrew Wood seems to be having the majority of the lap going in advantage to him. So he should be fine to keep that second place. Oh, Matt Hollabaugh, good thing switched over to him, because my goodness, that was an interesting save right there. Actually, we'll take a replay with that. He must have had that thing cranked. Oh, yeah, no, he had that thing cranked to the right-hand side. Oh, man. Near 180 degrees to the other direction just to save that thing. Going down into turn 11, almost turned onto the curb there. Taking a look at Caden McKee for the time being, as he's the last driver on the lead lap. Actually, no, Andrew Hewson is the last driver on the lead lap. Mitch Walker is a little bit of a ways behind him, so could end up being the top 8 on the lead lap here by the end of this race. But for now, everyone is very spread out, and while the little bit of an update on the battle between, well, not even the battle actually, just the gap, I should say, between Daly and Wood. It's about the same distance. It's about still 7.6 seconds. So those two have not really left each other in terms of distance and their lap times. Will Roberts back in pit road. Oh man, I think he came to a stop there almost. That is Matthew Warner going to be moving into the top 10. Maybe John McKeon could be moving into the top 10 in just a few moments. Oh, undershot his pit box, unfortunately, and that's not going to work out for Will Roberts for sure, as girlfriend watches on. Can't do this seriously, but I mean, unfortunately for Will Roberts, though, in all seriousness, though, for Will Roberts, that's actually pretty unfortunate. He's 35.1 seconds on pit road overall, as compared to Mitch Walker, who's currently in the lead. That's about 0.8 seconds by just the look of it. Yeah, 0.8 seconds. 34.3 seconds on pit road total for Mitch Walker. 35.1 seconds for Will Roberts, just from stopping short. Just by that much. Didn't go too well for him, unfortunately. So heading down the front straightaway once again goes Mitch Walker. And once again, about 13 more times, he will be making his rounds around the racetrack. And I believe if we double check the graphic here, it should be all laps led so far, and it is. So Mitch Walker on a tear for this race. Mitch Walker taking care of that corner once again. He had spun out there as well, too, unfortunately. Actually, no, it was actually this turn up here, turn 12. I thought that was actually I thought the turn 11 was turn 12 for a second. It's just so many left-hand turns. There it is. That's, yeah, I got a little bit loose there just from the curbing, and a little bit of an update on the gap between Andrew Wood and Byron Daly. It is actually closed now. Instead of staying the same, it's now 5.8 seconds instead of 7.6 or the equivalent. I can see the difference. Andrew Wood really locking up that left front tire. And a driver had spun out. That is John Wilco. He's going to try and get that car back going. Also letting Byron Daly through. Not sure exactly what happened. There was no contact for John Wilco in the 62. Oh, it's the grass, and he was trying to let somebody through as well. So he'd finally gotten back going. He's still going as well. Unfortunately, though, he's 3 laps down. Well, that is impressive determination in its own right, though, for John Wilco. Nope, scratch for that. Nope, it's actually going to be Michael P. Hurley. He's 5 laps down. He's still running. So in this race, 5 drivers are out. It's Zachary Buchanan from pretty much flipping over, unfortunately, very early on. Just about the halfway point of this race. James Pasquarella is also out. Chris Seidenfaden, John Martin, and Casey Duncan did not start this race. Back to Andrew Wood, however. There is a little bit of a problem for Andrew Wood, and that's the fact that A, he's losing time, and B, I don't know if I honestly do not know if he's pushing the car too much or too little, but again, we'll go back to this driver comparison. Again, it's still 1 second faster is Byron Daly. Still fluctuates for the most part around the racetrack, but the lap time comparisons show a very visible difference. And through that corner again, Andrew Wood locks up the left front tire. Well, as I said, unfortunately, as Buchanan had pretty much spun out, as Buchanan had spun out earlier on, before he unfortunately had wrecked out. Actually, no, Andrew Wood's going to head to pit road, so that's his second trip to pit road for this time. Will Byron Daly also at the pit road? No, he will stay out. So that's going to move Daly up to second place. As I was saying, Zachary Buchanan, he liked the setup. He just didn't like it how it handled under braking, unfortunately. So for the time being, it's going to be pretty calm for the most part. Buchanan more than likely trying to maybe coach Mitch Walker, as those two are on the team of Project 2, which is why one of them came up with the sponsor name. Mainly, I believe it was mainly Mitch Walker, but at the same time, it also had some input by Buchanan. So for the time being, Mitchell Walker will lead down the back straightaway with 11 laps to go. We'll be closing in on the end of this race. Byron Daly back up to in second, I should say. Matt Hollabaugh third. Fourth place is Andrew Wood, about 6.5 seconds behind, as Cade McKee had a few connection issues for a few moments, but Cohen Evans is in fifth. Sixth place, Chad Frankenfield. Fourth place, Cade McKee. Eighth place going to be Matthew Warner. Andrew Hewson is ninth. 10th place, Will Roberts. 6 drivers on the lead lap, the last one being this driver of Chad Frankenfield in the 15, He's got, again, a little ways away from Mitch Walker to fear getting lapped. 10 laps to go at the start-finish line, and we pretty much went through your top 10, so we're going to go ahead and go this time for sure double wide. So this is, as usual, the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Don't go anywhere, as you will not miss a single thing. Back live here at Circuit of the Americas for the Praise Coda Grand Prix presented by Project 2, if I could English correctly. Byron Daly has closed the gap ever so slightly even more on Andrew Wood. But for Mitch Walker, however, he's actually on a very good tear, and this is the reason why is that he's had a lot of bad luck in the past couple of weeks. He's all the way down 6th place in the point standings coming into this race, so this could really help him out. It's the only two other drivers in the top 3 in this race, actually. In the top 5 in points, pretty much for the rest of the field: Andrew Wood, Byron Daly, Colin Evans. In terms of the actual point standings, it is first place Byron Daly, second place Andrew Wood, third place Will Roberts, fourth place Colin Evans, fifth place James Krahula, sixth place Mitch Walker. And Mitch Walker currently in the lead, almost 7 laps to go. Hopefully we will see him on top at the end of this one. But meanwhile, for second place, it's about to get quite interesting, as Byron Daly is slowly starting to get into the slipstream gap of Andrew Wood. No, never mind. He's right there, actually. Oh, Wood locks up the left front again. And these two can battle all they want. They have... Well, Mitch Walker has a very massive buffer here between himself. Oh, and the second place as these two start to battle. Andrew Wood tries to defend the inside lane. It's not going to work, however, as Byron Daly gets the better of Andrew Wood, entering the 12th, turn number 12 on the back straightaway. That's Byron Daly locking up the left front tire a little bit in that corner. But they have about 40 seconds. Now, Mitch Walker actually has a 40-second gap between himself and Byron Daly. Andrew Wood has a 38-second gap between himself and Matt Hollabaugh. So, in terms, on understandable terms, that is filled with numbers. Basically, Byron Daly and Andrew Wood are in the middle of absolutely nowhere in terms of track positioning. And that is relative to how many... Oh, Caden McKee must have... Yep, again, problems off of the final corner. Yeah, unfortunately pulled a Rick Allen there. That is my mistake. But was it because of the... No, it's because of the braking, the exit, and the change of the elevation. Oh, man, that is... Yeah, that's going to definitely put the... I believe that was the right rear. Just going to double check the contact. Yeah, it's going to definitely damage the right rear for sure, as Caden McKee is now in 8th place. Trying to hang on to this, but trying to hang on to the lead. Doing his best at that with a 40.5-second gap is Mitch Walker. Andrew Wood had sort of closed the gap between himself and Byron Daly for a few moments, but at the moment, it's all Byron Daly in second. Down the back... Whoops. Down the back straightaway they go. Into turn number 12 once again. Andrew Wood, what he could have done, which would have really angered everybody, was dive bomb. But of course he chose not to do that. He's trying to choose and stay behind Byron Daly, who's getting all the acceleration that he can. You can hear the acceleration difference as well, because Byron Daly is not just ahead, but he's just a bit more smooth with the timing of the acceleration compared to Andrew Wood. A little bit loose on the final turn for Byron Daly, as we saw from this onboard shot, but other than that, nearing 5 laps to go. At this point, we could pretty much just call the race as it is, but we will not because, well, it's not exactly over yet. So Mitch Walker heads down the back straightaway. We'll keep looking at the possibility of Andrew Wood closing the gap between himself and Daly for this second place, as we have entered the closing laps. Oh man, Andrew Wood, he could have had that. He could have had that corner. Unfortunately, the exit of the Estes there just wasn't the best. On the bright side, though, he will not be falling back any farther, and if he does, well, it's because he's pretty much out of the race. Both these drivers have essentially a 40-second gap between first and fourth, as these two currently sit second and third. Through turn 12 again, right-hander of turn 13. There you go, with 5 laps to go, actually. As Mitch Walker has definitely crossed the line by this point. Here he's already just starting to enter the S's. Just one lone car ever since the start of this race. Something could come of this, but not exactly sure. Byron Daly has increased the gap ever so slightly by a couple of tenths, by about 1/10 per lap. That's just a rough estimate as well, but they're going to have to be dealing with lap traffic here, and yeah, that is in the form of Brendan Minto, unfortunately. Props to the drivers, though, that have stuck it out for the most part of this race, as Daly is going to catch up to Brendan Minto. Not exactly in the best spot of the racetrack, and yeah, Daly is really holding back. That was a much better exit of the S's from Andrew Wood that time around. 4 laps to go for Mitch Walker here in a few moments, and that should change quite shortly when he crosses the start-finish line. I, however, hereby actually will wait on that because Andrew Wood, no, he's going to brake early. Oh, that actually may have worked. Daly got a little bit loose on the exit of turn 12. Andrew Wood is finally back in fully in the slipstream of Byron Daly. He's got to be very smooth here on these closing laps, however. But what I was going to say is Daly extends the gap by a huge margin there. Is that there should be I believe the proper word would be perseverance. So there should be a perseverance award to the driver with the most laps down but still finishing the race. In this case, it would be Michael P. Hurley, who is currently 6 laps down in 16th place, but he is still running the crap out of this car. So he's doing a great job just hanging on to the end of this race. Oh, Andrew Wood a little bit loose as we just caught the tail end of that on his onboard camera. It's not exactly what he wants, and this is, again, pretty much this is the closest battle on the racetrack. Oh man, Daly didn't get a good S's there, but or that first half of the S's, in a sense. I think it actually was the entire S's. Other than that, though, even through that little bit of a mistake that Daly had, Andrew Wood still manages to just stick with him, but Daly still extends the gap. Lap after lap, at least he tries to. And we are coming on 3 laps to go here. As Mitch Walker, he has more than enough space, so of course he's going to head to pit road here. And this could work out for him. Now what we're going to do is bring up the graphic very quickly here. That's the wrong graphic. There we go. And, oh man, well, he is in pit road, so it's not going to be scoring live, I don't think. So we will switch over to Byron Daly and see where he is physically on the racetrack. Just barely getting into those final corners. So this could essentially turn into a 3-car battle. Walker has left pit road. I'll see if the gap comes down to 40.7. Crossing the timing. Hopefully that gets updated soon. Let's see, 39.6. It is slowly updating. There it is. 27.2 seconds. So he lost about 20 seconds. Nope, 30 seconds actually on pit road. So it's roughly about a 10-second gap, I believe, unless this is the official gap in between those two drivers. And it looks like it will stay that way. So 13.5 seconds between Byron Daly and Mitch Walker. 0.5 seconds between Byron Daly and Andrew Wood with 3 laps to go. So down the back straightaway they go, or goes Mitch Walker. Soon to follow is Byron Daly and Andrew Wood as they just now get onto the end of the back straightaway, or the beginning. As Walker pulls off the back straightaway into turn number 12, they're about halfway down, so that's a relative sense of the gap between those two drivers. In fact, this is all just one singular camera shot. There's Byron Daly. And there's Mitch Walker, just actually out of the range of this of the previous camera. So now it's going to be 2 laps to go as Andrew Wood continues to chase down Byron Daly for second. Oh, off the corner and into the inside wall. Trying to reverse it off the racetrack that's the 92, Chris Matthews, and he took off the left front portion of that front wing, unfortunately. Chris Matthews currently in position number 10, and man, that's a pretty hard shot to the left-hand side of the wall. Quickly backs up off the racetrack. Not exactly the best move, but at the same time, it is understandable. He could have just backed up just a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he didn't want to really risk being in anybody's way. Other than that, though, back live, 2 laps to go. As again, he spins out. That's the 92. No, that's a 56 of Michael P. Hurley, actually. He was letting by Byron Daly. And Andrew Wood pretty much, actually, no, he overshot a couple corners. Got the curb, went wide on the left-hand side, got the grass, that's what that was, and then tried to get back going and ended up just ultimately spinning out. He is still going, however, on the racetrack. 7 laps down, spun again, and yeah, he took a very cautious approach because I believe that's actually a little bit of a blind corner. Back live once again here with Mitch Walker as he's going to close in on his final lap of the race. Byron Daly, Andrew Wood has had a little bit of a problem, actually, as he's no longer directly behind. Not sure what exactly happened. I'm going to ride on. He hasn't been behind Byron Daly for a few corners, and the reason for that, as we are looking at the replay, another driver spinning out on the front straightaway. Oh, it's contact between himself and that was John McKeown. As we're fully on the final lap here, it is the top 3 pretty much confirmed at this point, but not fully until the race is over. So heading down into the S's, you see him through the lone car in the S's, is Mitch Walker. He's not in the all clear yet. He still has about 14 seconds between himself and Daly, which is slowly closing, but it's not enough, unfortunately. Heading down into turn 11 onto the back straightaway. It's a little bit of a wide but slow and cautious exit. Down the back straightaway after 2 weeks of bad luck, just pretty much constant for Mitch Walker. Starting ever since pretty much ISM in New Hampshire as well. About 2 to 3 weeks of bad luck for this number 1 machine and the previous champion of last season, which is why he is granted the gift of having the number 1. Previous driver in this series, of course, is given the number 1 if they are the past champion in the IndyCar series, at least. And down into the final few corners goes Mitch Walker. Finally into the final left-hander. Mitch Walker breaks the bad luck streak here at Circuit of the Americas, ironically at his own sponsored race. Mitch Walker leads all 34 laps and wins at Circuit of the Americas. Byron Daly comes across in the final corner for the second place position. Andrew Wood will come across in a few moments' time in third place. Hanging into the final left-hander now. A little bit of a wide exit. Cohen Evans going to be following suit a long ways away from now. Same with Matt Hollabach, going to be finishing in 5th place. 6th place could be Chad Frankenfield as well. And those are the only drivers on the lead lap. As Mitch Walker, your race winner, finally comes across and has finally come across as a winner in the series for this season, breaking the bad luck streak that he has had a few weeks prior. So congratulations to Mitch Walker. He's just cruising along now the final portion of this race. Just going to wait for the graphic to flash the checkers once again before we go over the finishing results. As nothing is 100% official as of now. Byron Daly's still on the racetrack, actually, possibly trying to catch up and congratulate Mitch Walker. There it is. So your finishing results in this race are as follows. Mitch Walker, Byron Daly, Andrew Wood. They will be interviewed in a few moments' time. Cohen Evans finishes in 4th. 5th place, Matt Hollabaugh, Chad Frankenfield, Matthew Warner, Andrew Hewson, Will Roberts, and John McKeown, 6th through 10th. Brendan Minto, Chris Matthews, Evan Adams, John Wilco, Cade McKee, 11th through 15th. Michael P. Hurley, Zachary Buchanan, James Pasquarella, Chris Seidenfaden, and John Martin, 16th through 20th. As Chris Seidenfaden, John Martin, and 21st of K.C. Duncan did not start this race officially. So we will be right back in a few moments' time with your top 3 interviews here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network. Congratulations once again to Mitch Walker, finally, again, breaking his bad luck streak here for this race. We'll be right back with your post-race interviews of your top 3. Don't go anywhere.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
And we are back live here at Circuit of the Americas with your top 3 interview here coming shortly in just a couple of moments. We are starting off here with the 32 of Andrew Wood, who managed to pull off another top 3 finish. I believe your second top 3 finish in a row as well. So far it seems to be going pretty well for you, Andrew.
Yeah, I had a decent race. I was expecting a little more there, especially because I had a decent first stint there pulling away from the guys behind. But, this is a really tough track to really get a handle of, and anything can go wrong really quickly. But I had some pretty rough goes in traffic all through the race from beginning to end. So I'll be very happy with third place.
Yeah, especially with a few close moments that you've had, especially as well. But somehow, someway, you did manage to again come home with a top 3 finish heading into the twin races at Richmond next week. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are I'm upset that I have to miss 2 races next week because I'll be away. But
okay, then.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So I have to look forward to 2 weeks from now and hope that I don't drop too far in the standings. But no, I mean I've been capitalizing on some other poor finishes from others in the season, and missing next week is not really going to affect it too much, I feel.
Yeah, hopefully it may not actually, now that I think about it. So Before we go ahead and let you go, anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to for your third place finish?
Yeah, big shout out to Will for running the league. You know, he does a lot to keep things running here. And of course, to you, Gary, for taking the time to follow all these cars around the track. Thanks very much for the broadcast. I'll look forward to watching it. And yeah, and my new paint job. So,
We're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on your third place finish.
yeah, thanks a lot, man.
So now we go to the second place finisher of Byron Daly here. And well, congratulations again, Byron, on your, what is this, your third podium finish in a row this week? Well, not this week, but in general, I mean.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, I'm a little disappointed to be so far off the leader there. I didn't put enough effort into preparation this week, and I should have done some more laps here. I like this track. I like Coda. I haven't turned a lot of laps here, and it just bit me today, and had some issues downshifting. My wheel does this thing every once in a while where it's like I need to reset it, but I got in so late I couldn't really get the time to do it, and took all race for it to clear itself out, but still didn't even have enough to really keep up with Mitch. Just have to work harder for next time.
Yeah, on the bright side, though, you are, as the points have actually came through now, you are actually still 43 points ahead of second place. So, my gosh, you are on an absolute tear in the point standings. But heading into Richmond next week with the twin 80, the two 80-lap races, the twin races for then. What are your thoughts for that?
Well, at first I thought the short ovals were going to be an issue, and then New Hampshire went really well, so I feel pretty good about Richmond. The points are just luckily I just haven't had a bad day yet. It's like if I don't win, I finish second. So it's been very fortunate to start the season. To say so, I just need to stay out of trouble in Richmond and kind of just pad the lead, I guess.
Yeah, but on the bright side, though, at least you, again, yeah, still came out on top. So heading, actually, no, I asked that question. My goodness, it's been a long race, so a lot of turns here at Circuit of the Americas. But anyone that you also give a shout out to for your second place finish?
Just fuel put on this league. So it's fun to come out and race. You for broadcasting it. It's just nice to go watch after and go see where I messed up. So yeah, that's all. It's just fun to be out here. Go turn some.
Are we going to go ahead and let you go? Congratulations again on your second place finish.
Thank you.
So that was Byron Daly, and finally the one, the only, the person who's more than likely relieved that he actually didn't have a bad race for once within the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks in this case. Now that this race is over, it is Mitch Walker.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm pretty sure you are very relieved at this point.
Oh yeah. After using up my 2 drop weeks, probably the past 2 weeks, it's very nice to get a win.
Yeah, definitely a very big relief, especially and ironically, well, suspiciously, any underwords that end in Lee in this case, winning your own, not your own race, but your own race that you've decided to sponsor in this case, as well as I believe Zach. But still, other than that, though, you did manage to lead all 34 laps somehow. You also got very lucky as well with the 40-second gap that you had on Daly and Andrew Wood at the closing 3 laps at that point in the race. So everything just seemed to have fallen into place for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Besides my quick spin at 12 mid-race, I guess there isn't really anything I could point out that went wrong. Just a smoother race. I love the track. Just got into a groove.
Yeah, it definitely worked out very well. Heading into Richmond next week with the twin races, the 2 80-lap races. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's going to be tough for sure because Richmond's obviously not made for IndyCar. And it's the dual format. And apparently Will has something cooking for the format as well. So hopefully it'll be all right. Looking to maybe get out of there and not crash again. So that'd be good.
Hopefully that will be the case. And before we let you go celebrate your win and your breaking the streak of bad luck, essentially. Anyone that you got to give a shout out to for your first place finish?
I guess just Zach. He had a tough race, and I just wanted to let him know that he should keep going at it. He does well in IndyCar. Happens. I had a bad couple weeks, but I'm still here, so I know you can do it.
Well, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Congratulations again on your first place finish.
Thanks.
Apologies for the language there, but I mean, he's not wrong. Things do happen, but again, apologies for that. Hopefully, a little bit more common sense will be used in terms of language choosing. But aside from that, though, I wonder if I could actually edit that out later on. Other than that, though, we're going to go ahead and, well, as per usual, before we sign off, we're going to go through the upcoming races here on the Racing Line Broadcasting Network, starting with this coming Sunday, the Cage Cup Series with the Flat Out Racing League. That is live at 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we head to the Richmond Raceway for the Red Light Scrambler Series. I believe that's actually incorrect. I'm going to do a quick double check on that one. No, it actually is. So it's for the second race in the first round of their playoffs. So 2 drivers are going to be getting eliminated after Richmond. And then the Field Jetstream Media IndyCar Series also heads to Richmond Raceway, ironically enough, for their twin races for next Thursday, going live at the usual time. It's just 2 races in one at night. So as we sign off, and to congratulate Mitch Walker again on his race win, and we hope to see you next time. I've been Gary Weaver, and we will, again, hopefully see you next time. Signing off from Coda. Thanks for watching.